Welcome to Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer. I'm your host, and I'm here today with Charles Doze.
Hey, Lloyd. What are you doing?
How you doing, Charles?
Oh, just hanging out, thinking about you, thinking about 1982,
1980.
the year that's not as long as 1981. Thank God.
Not as long, but still some great films in 1982.
A lot of really good films in 82. So we narrowed them down to like 21 out of 59. There was 59 total. That was a lot. I wasn't doing that again. I'm not getting in that bear trap again.
Yeah. Well, this is a part of the show where I should let everybody know that this list is not all inclusive. We will cover as much as we can within about an hour's time frame. And we're probably going to miss several that people think that should be in here, but Charles has curated this list himself. So
I think my fault.
He's came up. You've come up with a great list, Charles, and I think you hit, the highlights. You hit some of the best films. You hit some of the more obscure stuff that people may not know about. So, yeah, it's a great list. So,
yeah, and the problem with 82 is there's like 12 movies from 82 that you can't miss. You have to put them on the list. So that narrows your field of obscurity to like a few movies because, a few of these, if I didn't put on here, people would yell at us.
Yeah. I mean, I already got somebody said, where was the thing on Instagram? And, of course, it was the first one listed, but you like to pull up the posters that maybe not everybody has always seen. So I think that's why they didn't, really recognize it right off the bat.
Yeah, I do the goofy posters.
Yeah.
The all crap.
They're fun posters. They are, I mean, everybody's seen the regular ones. So we've got quite a few watchers right now. We want to take a moment just to thank everybody for coming on and watching the show today. We appreciate you. It's always good to see everybody and everybody chatting with each other as well. Todd Lewis says, bring on the obscure stuff. We do. We have some obscure stuff tonight.
There is some ones on here that I think maybe you guys haven't seen. Some people probably have, but I can tell you 82 was a hard year, guys. I went back and forth on a lot of these because there was like 5 or 6 more I really wanted to put on here, but yeah, just you get to about 20, man. We get about that hour mark, Yeah,
exactly. E.T. is a big film in 85.
All right, cool. I'm down, Travis. Let's watch E.T.
Hi to Tommy. Hi, Tommy. How you doing?
What's up, Tommy?
Let's see what else we got. Anybody else? Richard says that he's just coming to give StreamYard something to read. That's I think what he's referring to is the Facebook group. If you're watching from the Facebook group, you have to click the link and give them permission to show your comments. So I put that out there. If you didn't see it, you can go back in and authorize them to read it, because there are some people here that it just says Facebook user.
Man, I want to know who you people are. I don't want you to be Facebook user. I wanted you to be person I know. Unless your actual name is Facebook user, then I'm sorry. That's an awesome name.
Don't want to offend anybody.
I don't want to offend anybody. That's cool if it's your name.
All right. So we want to just jump right into it then?
Let's do it. What do we have?
All right. First one up, February 12th, 1982. This is a cool little transformation creature flick directed by Philip Mora called The Beast Within.
The Beast Within.
The Beast Within, yeah. Written by Tom Holland, loosely based on the 1981 horror novel of the same name, written by Edward Levy.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on The Beast Within?
Man, I like The Beast Within. It was made in the slasher era where if you so much didn't make a slasher film, it struggled to get recognition. And this is one of those movies that did struggle to get recognized at the time it was brought out. The plot is a little goofy. It's a little like, what the F is going on? But the effects in it are awesome. The transformation scene in it's just gross too, but it's pretty awesome.
It's a great transformation scene, and unfortunately, I don't want to say uh, it's not well known because it started to get a cult following over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got that transformation scene. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up so
Part of
everybody
it.
can see it.
Yeah, a little bit of it. Don't want to spoil all of it, but we got some of it here.
Yeah, here it is. So, heavy use of bladders. It was used quite a bit in the early to mid 80s. Lots of bladder usage. I think my biggest memory of bladder usage was Spasms.
Spasms,
yeah. Toby Hooper directed. He started out directing that, and I think that somebody else came in and finished it or something like that.
Yeah, and the effects scene on that was done by the Berman Studio, and Berman Studio actually did the effects for 3 movies that are on our list tonight.
Busy year.
Yeah, busy year for them. They also did the effects on 81's Bloody Valentine, so they had that going for them.
All right.
I think it was ran by Thomas Berman. I think what Thomas Berman mostly got recognized for later on is he developed and designed all the makeup for Sloth in the Goonies. So he came up with Sloth's makeup.
Ah, okay. All right. Great little film. It's been a little while since I've seen it, but I think it's a worthy entry. I think it's something that I would definitely recommend people to check out.
I'd recommend it as well. And that's actually the movie I'm going to give away today at some point.
Ooh.
On Blu-ray.
All right.
Somebody's getting the Beast Within. I don't give away the normal movies. Somebody's getting the Beast Within at some point today. Whenever I feel like it. I'll probably finish this and then we'll see.
And then you'll give it away.
Yeah. We can move on though.
All right. Somebody says, I think I confused this movie with Beast and Heat, which is way... yeah.
That's a different movie.
It definitely is definitely a different film altogether.
See Lloyd Cryer in Beast in Heat. You'll never be the same.
And this was way before CGI, so it was a really cool transformation scene, and kudos.
That transformation scene is actually a lot longer than what we showed. I mean, it goes on for a few minutes, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So next up, we're going to jump to March 4th, 82. And it can't be the 1980s unless we got a Fulci movie, because he brought out a movie every year. He brought out 27 movies. 82 was New York Ripper.
There we go. The New York Ripper.
Yeah. And he also brought out another movie this year, Manhattan Baby. But I like New York Ripper better. So that's why I put that one on here.
New York Ripper, like you were saying earlier, everything had to be a slasher film, seemed like that year. And New York Ripper was a slasher, somewhat of a giallo, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it fit the genre.
What I love about this movie is I don't think I'm giving anything away. It's not a spoiler, but the killer quacks like a duck.
Yeah, he does this movie is 100% Fulci. It's violent, it's sick, it's demented, but he made some weird choices in this movie. The killer's voice, it was like some Donald Duck thing. It was weird.
Yeah, he was quacking.
He was quacking. And the dubbing on this one is not the best. This is probably one of the worst dubbings that came from the Fulci movies. It's really bad. But the movie itself it's well made. I mean, that's Fulci, though. Every Fulci movie was well made. I enjoyed it, but I enjoy Fulci movies. They get a little similar after a while, yeah, but I like this one a lot better than Manhattan Baby, which is the other one he brought out. And you can obviously tell he filmed the same areas because we got Manhattan Baby and we got the New York Ripper. So,
yeah, which wasn't his first time to film in those areas, but it's really cool seeing, old school Northeast, New York stuff. So, Definitely a recommended film. I enjoy that one a lot. One of my favorites.
Yeah. I hadn't seen it in a minute. I rewatched it last week, and I like it. I still like it a lot. It's still a lot of fun.
Yeah. What else can we say about that one?
That's a lot. I mean, it's the movie itself was banned in the UK until 2002, so there's that. You couldn't rent it or buy it. That's a lot of movies in the UK. It's a lot of movies in the UK though. They banned a lot of movies.
If it walks like a duck, the New York Quacker.
I really wanted to just pull up a dub of the voice, but I didn't do it. I was like, it's gonna be confusing unless you're watching the movie.
That just gives people a reason to get out there and go see this one if you haven't seen it. So I recommend it.
Watch it.
The next one on the list is one that I want to say a lot of people have seen this one.
I think so.
Yeah, April 2nd, 1982, directed by Paul Schrader. Cat People, starring Malcolm McDowell, John Hurd, and Nastasia Kinski, right?
Yeah, Natasha Kinski.
Yeah. Great remake of a classic film.
Yeah.
And of course, we love Malcolm McDowell here, so.
We love Malcolm. Cat People, it's a campy movie. I think the best thing about Cat People is the score. It's got a great score by Giorgio Moroder, who, of course, if you haven't seen the Metropolis sort of rescoring he did, it's phenomenal. Watch that. But also the theme song is sung by David Bowie in Cat People. I think this music is what makes Cat People hold up to this day. If you watch it without that music, it's probably not going to hold up as well. But some people really like it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I like the music on it.
Of Cat People?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely it's more style over anything kind of a film.
Yeah.
It's a very stylish movie, but it's a great watch. It's something that I would recommend.
Yeah, I think we have the trailer for it or TV spot.
Let me pull that up. Let's
One
see.
of them. But again, the score makes it worth watching. Moroder did some awesome stuff.
All right, here we go.
Cat People, rated R.
Put that 80s rock over it, and that'll definitely get people in seats.
That did. At the time, people were like, oh my God, it's Cat People and it's got the music. We're going.
Yeah.
Travis Brown said that Moroder did the score for Neverending Story. Yes, he did. He did that one as well.
Yep. Boogeyman says, look how young Malcolm is. Yeah, Malcolm is still a fresh-faced kid in this movie almost.
Yeah. Yes, he was. I mean, it's a fun movie. It's got a great cast. It's more erotic horror. To me, like I said, I like the score in it. I like the score, and the theme song is what really does it for me.
Great stuff, man. Go ahead with the next one. This is one that I kind of dig. And it's relevant.
Yeah. April 2nd, 82, again, we had The Dorm That Dripped Blood. Dorm That Dripped Blood is another one of the slasher movies. Kids staying in college during Christmas break, they find themselves stalked by an anonymous killer. Ooh, it sounds like every 80 movie's wrapped up. But I like The Dorm That Dripped Blood. I mean, it's a decent slasher. Had a weird ending. The score on it was done by Christopher Young. Christopher Young went on to do most notably Hellraiser. So he scored a lot of stuff. He also did a lot of other stuff. Species, Drag Me to Hell. Most recently, Christopher Young scored the Pet Sematary remake, which was actually a really good score. Yeah, I mean, what do you think of it?
Well, it's got Daphne Zuniga in it, which she'll be a guest at our upcoming show. And from what I understand, this movie was, if I'm not mixing it up with something else, this movie was like a student film, is the way it started out. I believe I've heard that.
Yeah, it was directed by Stephen Carpenter and Jeffrey Obro, and I think they were still really young when they did it.
Yeah, it was also called Death Dorm, and it was also called Pranks.
And Pranks is what it was released under originally, was the original release title, and then it was retitled.
That's what I always remember it as, is Pranks.
Stephen and Jeffrey did a couple other horror movies together. They did 84, The Power, which I wasn't a fan of, but one in 87 they did I like was The Kindred. If you remember The Kindred, they directed that.
I do remember The Kindred.
Here's the poster for it. It's a pretty simplistic poster for the time period, but I always really liked this poster for how simplistic it was. It's like 3 colors, and it really always just stood out to me. I love this poster a lot.
Yeah, it's a like you said, it's simplistic, but it's a good poster. Gets the message across.
One director for this, Stephen Carpenter, was actually born in Weatherford, Texas, so he's a local boy.
No way.
Yeah. He went on to direct, not direct, but he went on to create the TV series, The Grimm, which everybody, I think, watched for a few years, like 4 or 5 years. It was on for like 6 seasons.
Huh. I had no idea about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a decent slasher. If you like slashers and you're like Lloyd and you want to see every slasher that comes out, you watch this. It's not like, a phenomenal film, but I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
It is a fun movie. And like you said, it's not the greatest, but it's a slasher flick, and I'm a kind of a slasher completist, so I'm into it.
Somebody asked if they can get a list of the films we talk about. I can give you guys a list.
Okay. Yeah, good idea. Next up, boy, this is a favorite. I know this is a favorite of a lot of people.
Please tell me you guys love this one.
Please tell us. April 7th, 1982, directed by Frank Henenlotter.
What is it, Lloyd?
Basket
Case.
I love Basket Case.
Who doesn't? It's a weird movie. It's a fantastic movie.
It's so bizarre and so weird, but I got the poster here that you pulled up for it. Hey, what's in the basket?
What's in the basket? Very small, very twisted, and very mad.
And he is. Is Belial, right? Belial?
Lyle.
Belial.
Belial.
Yeah.
Belial. It's like Belial. Belial.
Belial, yeah.
Yeah. Movie was shot on 16 millimeter film, which was pretty cool for the time. Shot in New York, so again, it gives you that grim, 80s New York feel, which is good. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a great movie. I mean, if you haven't seen this, definitely it should be on your list ASAP to watch. Belial. Hey, how do you say his last name, Lloyd?
Belial.
No, the one you just pulled up, Timothy.
Timothy
Patatatas, the greatest artist ever.
I've been trained, and I know now it's Petitus.
Petitus.
Now that I know, I'll never get it wrong.
Are you sure it's not Pittites?
Yeah.
No.
Did Lloyd say not the greatest? I beg your pardon, sir. It's awesome. I don't know who this is, but I didn't say that about Basket Case.
Not about Basket Case. We love Basket Case. It's a favorite.
I love Basket Case. I love Frank Henenlotter. The dude is he's a master in my opinion. He's
He is.
I just watched something by him about an artist down in Florida who was doing underground comics. It's on Amazon Prime, and the title escapes me. But look it up. Look up director Frank Henenlotter, and you'll find it. And it's a great documentary about an artist who really gets screwed over, and kind of has his rights violated. So it's a great movie, and Frank Henenlotter he can do no wrong, man.
He also went on to do Frankenhooker, which was another fun movie.
Frankenhooker, Basket Case, and Brain Damage is probably one of my all-time favorite films.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to throw on Basket Case too much. It's a great movie. We enjoy it. You haven't seen it, check it out.
That is a definite checkout. This next one that you're going to introduce is something that I didn't see until, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So I like this movie a lot. May 7th, 82, Death Valley. Death Valley gets a lot of negative reviews. I'll put that out there. It does. It gets negative reviews, but I enjoyed it. There's not gore in it. It doesn't really go to the gore area, but it's a fun thriller. And it's got Peter Billingsley in it before he did A Christmas Story. Yeah. You can't even really watch it anymore because of Christmas Story, but it's a great movie. Catherine Hicks is in it, and Wilford Brimley is in it. I consider this a slasher flick, quite honestly.
Yeah.
It's got one of our previous guests in it too. And I'm trying to think of his name. Go ahead, keep talking, and I'll find it.
Yeah, Stephen McHattie is great in it.
That's who I'm talking about, Stephen McHattie.
Yeah. He's done the show. Catherine Hicks and Wilford Brimley, of course, have all done the show. But Stephen McHattie is great in it. He's done a lot. I could say, the story, it's a little loose in places, but I never understood the negative reviews this movie got because I like this movie. I watched it really young too. So, and I think I pulled a trailer for it just so everybody can see Peter Billingsley before he did Christmas Story because he looks exactly the same. It's like Ralphie prequel.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pull it up. Let's see. It should.
No one knows you. No one has ever seen you before, and no one will notice when you're gone. Death Valley was a great place for a family vacation until the tourist business started dying. Death Valley, rated R.
Now playing at Birdcage, 49er and Sacramento Drive-In.
I'm so happy it's now at the Sacramento Drive-In. It's now playing.
I was waiting for it to get to a theater near me.
Thank you for coming to a theater near us. Yeah, I mean, I'll admit it's hard to watch it because all I see is Ralphie. I'm expecting him to pop up like, he'll shoot your eye out. Like, no, it's a fun movie though. It really, really is. It's available. I think it's on a Blu-ray that came out recently, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, yeah. And I don't know if it's still available or not, but man, I'd recommend buying it. The first time I saw it was on the MGM channel, which for some reason I can't get in my area anymore through my provider. I don't have an MGM channel, and that is a great channel, man. They brought on so much stuff, and it was uncut, and it was presented the way it was, originally. And they were always high def too. So if you have access to the MGM channel, that's a great channel. They'll have a day where they just play nothing but horror movies all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, MGM, I don't get that either, but I know they play a lot of good stuff on there. Yeah, it is available on a Blu-ray for purchase. Check it out. I mean, really, it's a lot of fun. It's one of those you can probably watch with younger crowd too. If you're trying to get some younger ones into some horror flicks, it's not really, horrible. Not like New York Ripper or anything.
Yeah. And I say that it is a slasher flick. It does have some slasher elements, but Charles is right. It's mainly a thriller. So, and if I remember right, there's somewhat of a twist at the end, right?
Yeah, a little bit of a twist.
So,
won't give it away, but
yeah, definitely check that one out.
Somebody said they watched it very young and their grandma played it for them. Again, Facebook user, I can't see you. I'm sorry. I wish I could.
Is it all a dream? No, it's not all a dream.
It's not all a dream. Michael McDougal said, "Hey, Lloyd and Charles. What's up, Michael?
What is up, Michael?
Michael is here. Michael is here. Yeah, I mean, really good movie. Good road shots. You know, it's a fun movie. Check it out. It's got a good cast. Do it.
It is. Do it. All right, next one up. May 28th, 1982. Visiting Hours, starring William Shatner and Michael Ironside.
I love Visiting Hours, too.
I do, too. That was something that they advertised it pretty heavily the year it came out, if I remember correctly. It seemed like it was everywhere.
Yeah, and I didn't watch this until about 3 years ago. It was the first time I'd seen this.
Really?
It was just never something that I'd even really heard of much. And finally it had dropped. I saw somebody mention it. And I'm one of those people like you, if I see a movie mentioned I haven't seen, I have to go watch it. So I watched it, and it's a lot of fun.
Michael Ironside is batshit crazy in this movie.
He is insane in that movie. He's not even right. He's like stalking this lady, and it's a Canadian film, but he's like he's a serial killer. I think she was a journalist in the movie, if I'm not mistaken. And he is batshit insane crazy in the movie. He is fantastic in it.
Oh yeah, like self harm. He's hurting himself. He's doing all kinds of crazy shit. The dude's a lunatic, and he does it so well.
It's too well. It's too well. Yeah, this is on Blu-ray too. There's actually a double set with this and Bad Dreams on it from '88 too.
Did you have a poster, or do you have a?
Yeah, I had a poster for this one.
Let me see if. Oh, here it is. Visiting Hours. That's
so
an
frightening.
Yeah,
you'll never recover.
It's an iconic image too, with that with the lights lit up like a skull. It's great.
Yeah, it's again, there's not a lot in it, but it really is. It gets the point across. And this is the time that, there was a few more hospital type horror films coming out. And of course you had Halloween 2, but this was still made early enough where Halloween 2 wasn't really an influence on it. It was just kind of like, things were, I don't know, hospital became popular. So
yeah. That's one of my favorite descriptions. So colorful. Batshit crazy. Is that what she's talking about? I wonder. He is batshit crazy. That's like Stephen King. He used to always. It seems like I always remember. Or maybe this just sounds like something Stephen King would say, but he always said, "Crazier than a shithouse rat." Crazier than a shithouse rat, Lord.
Yeah. It's worth watching. I mean, I say it's a good movie overall, but just seeing Michael Ironside in it is worth getting it. It's fun. Something to add to your collection if you haven't seen it. I don't think it's streaming anywhere, so you're probably going to have to buy it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. So,
oh no. Next one, I don't think nobody likes the next one.
This one is super, super obscure.
Yeah, this is the most obscure film you've ever seen. If anybody's seen this, I'll be surprised. June 4th, 1982, Poltergeist, directed by an unknown director named Tobe Hooper.
And produced by somebody that was just as unknown.
Yeah. I don't even know who that guy is. Spielberg? I don't even know who he is. He's never going to amount to anything. Stefan Spielberg. Stefan Spielberg produced this movie. Actually, kind of directed it too, but that's a whole other story.
We've got. You said what kind of poster was this?
So this is the Turkish poster, and I grabbed the Turkish poster because this is my favorite poster of Poltergeist. It's similar to the other posters, but this is one of the few ones that's colored, and then one of the few ones. It's not the only one that has her looking at herself on the TV screaming. And I've always loved this poster, and the fact that it's called Kutara. Makes it sound even better. I don't even care.
Great movie. I mean, really is, and it is still scary. You can still go back and watch this, and it's still a scary movie. I mean, it's got a clown puppet, an evil clown puppet, and all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, the bodies coming out of the pool. There's been a lot of debate over Poltergeist over the years of who really directed the movie, and I think it's BS to say that Steven Spielberg directed the whole thing. I totally believe that Tobe Hooper is responsible for that film.
Yeah, I think where the ideal that Steven Spielberg directed it is that Steven Spielberg was on set like every day, and Steven Spielberg is very demanding to the point where people think he was directing. But Tobe Hooper created a lot of those shots. Tobe Hooper made a lot of that movie, most of that movie. And there was some influence for Spielberg, but not as much as people think. I
heard that Tobe wanted to amp up some of the stuff in it and make it more sometimes more explicit or more gory or whatever. But I think they just worked hand in hand on that. I really do, and I think he was mainly responsible for it with influence from Spielberg.
Yeah. Also has one of my favorite scores from the 80s. Yeah. I mean, Carol Ann's theme is a bunch of kids chanting, and it sounds sweet, but it's terrifying. You know, la 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 la. That's all I got.
How'd that go again?
I'm not doing it again, but yeah, Jerry Goldsmith did the score to it, and Goldsmith did so many movies that are iconic. I mean, Goldsmith did Planet of the Apes, for Christ's sake, all the way back then. He did that score. Logan's Run, Alien. Jerry Goldsmith even wrote the damn Universal Studios opening logo to their movies. I mean,
did he really?
Yeah, Jerry Goldsmith did everything. And he died, and it was a sad day.
Well,
can't say much about Poltergeist. It's rated PG, which is always surprising. It's definitely one, though, you can get younger kids into as well. There is some scary factor to it, but it's definitely a good one for Halloween for younger kids as well as old. I mean, it holds up.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this, but I actually enjoyed the remake, too, especially if you watch it in 3D. The remake was kind of a fun movie. You're never going to make a movie better than the original Poltergeist, but the remake was fun.
I'll admit that I never watched it because I did not want to watch a remake of Poltergeist, and I've never seen it. I'm real weird on remakes. It took a lot to get me to go see the Pet Sematary remake, and I was a little disappointed in that. So,
yeah, I haven't watched that yet. I'm okay with remakes. It doesn't bother me because I still have the original. I mean, some are obviously terrible, but I don't have a problem with a remake, and I can still go back and watch the original and enjoy it, and it doesn't ruin anything for me.
Can we make a remake of this show together?
Yes.
We'll just start all over now. Welcome, guys, to Texas Frightmare HQ. No.
The remake.
A remake. We're doing this all in German now. Let me pull up Google Translate. Das Movie El Horror. Yeah.
El Horror.
El Horror. That's going to be the name of my autobiography, El Horror, the almost true story of Charles Dose.
I have somebody that agreed with me. Remake wasn't bad. Thank you, Billy. And then I think Michelle is agreeing with me here. Thank you, Michelle.
I'm going to say she's agreeing with me. I'm going to go with this.
You do have some followers. Let's see. With me is Charles at this remake of this stream.
All right, we're making it. All right. So Poltergeist, I think everybody knows. What's next, Lloyd? I love this one.
I know you love this one, and it's a cool one. June 11th, 1982, directed by Paul Lynch. We have Humongous.
That's also my nickname for Lloyd. Humongous,
which Arrow just recently put out.
Yeah.
And we celebrated that at the last show Is that right?
Yeah.
No, am I right about Humongous? Or am I thinking of another movie?
I think you're thinking of another
I'm
movie.
thinking of another movie. Sorry about that.
I was about to say, wait.
I always get Humongous and the one where it says it has an axe and it's not human.
Which one is that?
That's the one that Arrow did last year. And I'm trying to think. It was the one with the guy from Shazam and Addams Family. I bet you somebody is already.
The Prey.
The Prey. Why do I always get those?
Yeah, the Prey. Humongous is different.
It is different.
If you haven't seen Humongous, okay, it's a little cheesy. Okay, it's basically around these kids who become stranded on this island, and they're stalked by this deformed thing. We'll say that. The movie itself is not bad. The movie struggled with lighting because what you'll hear all the time in this movie is that it's so dark it's hard to watch, and that's actually true. The director Paul Lynch of this did Prom Night, so he came fresh off Prom Night and made this, which surprised me because it seems a lot lower of a budget than somebody who did Prom Night should probably have had. But
yeah, it is a low budget. I've seen this movie, but I'm struggling to remember. It's somewhat of a period piece, isn't it? Or do they just flashbacks to?
I gave you the trailer. Let's watch the trailer.
All right, let's pull that up.
I'm going to shake your mind with this, but yeah, it is. There is some flashbacks in it.
Let's see if I'm pulling the right. This one should be it.
Humongous. It's loose. It's angry. And it's getting hungry. Humongous. God help us.
God help us.
Yeah.
What I love about that trailer is it tells you nothing about the movie. Just that it's called Humongous. God help us.
It's loose and it's getting hungry.
That's like that describes me every day. It's loose and it's hungry. Humongous.
I know I've watched this more than once, but I'm struggling to remember everything about it. I know it was slasher-like. But it's a creature, like a beast guy or something like that. So it's just not something that I remember that well. And I don't know if that says anything about the movie or not.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I don't think it's easy to find anywhere. Because I want to say I looked for it maybe last year and it was like not in stock anywhere. So I know there was a copy was brought out by Code Red, I think, and sold on DVD, but I don't think it's available anywhere.
I want to say you can go to Ronin Flicks and buy that, if I'm not mistaken, because Code Red put that out a million times, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here it is. Blu-ray with slipcover, Humongous, $19.99. That's at roninflix.com.
$19.99.
You know what? This film, no, that's the price, not the year. It says this film is currently sold out.
Yeah, it's like sold out, like a lot of places.
Wow.
You can. So, what I have to tell everybody about Humongous too is if you want to watch this movie, and I highly recommend it, you really have to find the Blu-ray because the Blu-ray fixed a lot of the lightings. There is a double set on DVD that you'll probably see at Walmart. They packaged it with a movie called Eagle Island, and that is an absolutely horrible copy of the movie. Like you can't even see anything in the movie. It's like a straight beta transfer to a DVD. And so to avoid that one.
Yeah, there were a lot of releases like that put out movies that people were looking for, but they were bootlegs. So
yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure you can get a copy of it. The Blu-ray is out there somewhere. Who knows what it'll cost you, on the secondary market.
Yeah, it's probably going to cost you a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's got a nice creepy atmosphere. It's just lighting issues, and they were really bad in this movie. So I mean, really, it's just something you have to watch in the dark. That's pretty much the only way you can do it.
Yeah. So you've got a awesome one to introduce here that everybody loves.
I have to go get a towel to introduce this movie. It's coming, guys. It happened on June 25th, 1982. It happened. We got The Thing. The Thing. What else can you say about The Thing? The Thing.
We've got this cool picture. Tell us about this picture that you found.
Yeah, so this is a cool, and I had this saved because I was reading some stuff on this, and this is actually the premiere in Hollywood in 82, and it was hosted by Elvira. So I had saved this picture to pull up. I think it's really cool that this premiere was hosted by Elvira. I mean, really, who else better to do this? I mean, this movie was fantastic, and at the time, it was a commercial failure. It did not make any money. Yeah, and it was like a complete and utter failure. You wonder why, because it's probably one of the greatest films of all time. It really is.
I think the effects I think that scared a lot of people off. I really do. I think it was too intense. I think it was way before its time.
Rob Bottin? How do you say his last name? He did the effects.
I always said Bottin, but
Bottin. I think it's Rob Bottin. But Bottin did effects with Carpenter, a lot of stuff. Fog as well. Bottin went on, though. He did a lot of stuff with Verhoeven, RoboCop, and Total Recall. I mean, he's an effects freaking wizard. That guy's insane. But it was a failure. I mean, it really was.
He worked so hard and so tirelessly that he had to be hospitalized at one point during the making of this film, from what I've always heard.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Yeah.
That's a story. I mean, it was pure exhaustion because he worked around the clock working on this stuff, and it shows. It's masterful. I mean, this is probably the effects in this film are, to me, the gold standard of practical effects.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, and not to mention the score in this was done by Ennio Morricone. So I'm gonna put a nail. I don't even care. It's the best horror score that was ever composed. It really is. Sorry, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna kick everybody with that.
What I thought was the great thing about that was he actually took Carpenter's style and made some of those pieces sound like Carpenter stuff. Which I thought was fantastic, but a lot of people get confused when they hear that and they think that Carpenter did the score. No, Morricone took his style and crafted it to sound like a Carpenter piece.
And Morricone is the greatest composer of all time, so there's also that. I mean, he's like Mozart. It's just how he is.
Yeah, I've tried watching the original thing too, and it just never has appealed to me.
I like the original. It's different. It's a lot different, but it's fun. It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's not as good as the remake.
It is. It is for what it is. What it is, it's an early sci-fi flick. So it's not always my cup of tea, but it's great.
They filmed this in British Columbia, Stewart, British Columbia. If you can ever find your way up there, there's actually parts of the set still there. The crashed helicopter is still there because they couldn't do anything with it. It's all like burnt up, and there's some pieces of the exterior that are still there. And I've tried to go there. It's just like extremely difficult to get.
I was going to say that's probably your next field trip, Charles.
Yeah, that's been my next film trip for a while because I mean you have to fly to like Seattle, then you have to fly into British Columbia, then you have to take like a 6-hour ride to some unknown place, and you have to find some guy who knows how to take you to the woods without molesting you. It's just a long ordeal that I'm willing to do, but I'm going to do it.
A dog sled.
Mush. No, and it's actually like where they filmed it. There's only like 2 months of the year you can go there where there's good weather, or you're not gonna be able to find it because it's gonna be snowed over. So it's like one of the most difficult film locations to do.
Yeah. Well, I love The Thing, and I've never heard anybody tell me they didn't like The Thing, and so it's definitely, from its beginnings as being a box office failure, it has definitely grown to be a huge cult classic.
Yeah, it's real sad to know how bad it failed, and it stopped them from doing a lot of remakes for a while. How bad that movie failed, because there was other ones they were looking at making, and it halted some stuff to be made.
Hey, before we go on to the next one, somebody's wishing you a happy late birthday. Happy
birthday!
Carl.
Happy birthday to me.
Yesterday was your birthday, right?
3 days ago.
Before. I don't remember. I wish you happy birthday.
You sent me a weird picture of you in lingerie. It was cool, though. I mean, I printed it out. So I
knew you would like it, so that's why I sent that.
You were wearing a Planet of the Apes mask. It went the whole 9 yards for me. I was like, Dr. Zayas. Ooh, he's sexy.
So next up is something that people would probably kill us if we didn't bring up.
Yeah.
Besides The Thing, August 13th, 1982, directed by Steve Miner. Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D.
In 3D, Lloyd's favorite.
Charles, I saw this at the theater in 3D the week it came out.
Were you waiting? Were you camped outside?
I was camped outside. There was I was the only one there. But
you had some Twinkies and some hot cocoa, and you were like, "Let's do it! I'm ready!"
This was before camping out at theaters was a thing, and I was into it.
I should have pulled the trailer for this, because the trailer is hilarious, because they literally say in 3D like 19 times in the trailer. Like every other scene, it's in 3D. You thought Jason was gone, but he's back in 3D. It's like, okay, watch him as he gets you in 3D. It's like, oh, Jesus.
It's literally the most cheesy 3D. It was, it's mid 80s when 3D was trying to make a resurgence. So, and I actually saw it it wasn't the red and blue. So it was the better, the green glasses. Yeah. And the 3D it's fun, but nowadays 3D means something else to everybody. In the 80s, everybody just wanted something to pop out in their face. That's all anybody wanted in a 3D movie, and that's full of stuff like this.
That's all anybody wants in life, is things to pop out in front of their face.
Exactly. Did you pull up a poster or no?
Yeah, I pulled up a poster for it. I really wish I would have grabbed the trailer now, but just so everybody can see it's like 3D 19 times. But I did pull up a poster.
Nope, that's not it.
Which one was on it?
I don't know if we have it or not.
I'm not seeing it. Well, I mean, it was directed by Steve Miner. Steve Miner, of course, did Friday the 13th Part 2. We mentioned him on our long and exhausting 1981. He also did Warlock and House, which we'll get to down the road. Steve Miner also directed episodes of Dawson's Creek as he got older, so he had that going for him.
Yeah,
it's my favorite show, Dawson's Creek. I watch it 3 times a day.
I know. Where's your T-shirt? You've got the Dawson's Creek T-shirt too.
The heart around Dawson. I mean, part 3. I like Part 3 too. I mean, really, every Friday the 13th movie is fun. They're all at least fun. If Friday the 13th was actually still good, it was still a good movie. It was fun.
Well, this is where he gets the iconic hockey mask. So that's a big step in the evolution of Jason. Yep. So that's a cool part of it. There is actually never been a real 3D release on home video. So what you get when they say you get a 3D, you get the red and blue glasses, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Somebody made a 3D version not too long ago and put it out on the internet, and I've seen that, and it looks fantastic. There is rumor of a new Friday the 13th box set coming up. So hopefully whoever does that actually makes a real 3D version of Part 3. I would love to see that.
Yeah, the problem with a lot of 3D at the time is they kind of they did like a superimpose to make it look 3D. But Friday the 13th Part 3 was actually filmed with 3D cameras. So it was fun, but like you said, it was really hacked down the road because they just tried to do it with those red and glasses and it just didn't work. So
yeah, it's terrible, man. It's terrible.
Man, we are running through time. Holy crap, we still got a lot.
We're at 7:50, so go ahead for the next one. We can get through this one today.
Yeah, we're gonna get through it easily. August 23rd, 82. Jean-Pierre Simone's Pieces.
Yes.
Pieces. Pieces is freaking awesome.
It is awesome.
It's gory. They used real internal organs from dead animals. I know that in the movie. That's why it looks real, because it's actual organs and blood. So there's that.
We got a trailer for that, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Let me see if this is it. Hang on.
Warning. What you will see in the movie Pieces cannot be revealed, cannot be described, cannot even be imagined. And you don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre. Pieces. It's exactly what you think it is. Pieces. Absolutely no one under 17 will be admitted.
Absolutely no one under 17 will be admitted.
I don't know what we went to see, but when that came out in the theaters, I went to see that. I went to see something else. And in the lobby, they had a giant Pieces cardboard stand-up. And this thing was huge. And it had the girl laying on a table. And it had the big tagline that said, you don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with that movie from that point on. But it was released unrated, if I remember correctly. So
it's been edited a lot.
I'm a big Pieces fan, so I've got the Grindhouse Pieces Blu-ray, and I ordered it early, and so it came with the puzzle.
Oh, Lord.
I still haven't opened, and I never probably ever will. But this is a very cool collectible. And then Arrow had a release. I think I got this release from Arrow first. And this is something I'll never open either. But this is the box that the little boy opens and pulls out the puzzle from. So this one also has a puzzle. And I've never opened this. I don't think I'll ever have the heart to open this box set. But
that's awesome, though.
I love that. I love the Arrow set and the Grindhouse set with the puzzle in it. So Pieces is off the wall.
It's goof. It's insane. That movie is absolutely insane. It's great, though. Somebody asked if we're going to do a podcast at Frightmare. I don't know what we're going to do at Frightmare.
If we're going to do a podcast?
At Frightmare.
We'll do something at Frightmare.
We're gonna do a dancing striptease show.
Yeah. Pieces brings the violence in spades.
All right, let's try to roll because we're getting on some time here.
All right, you're next up, so go for it.
Oh God, this is one maybe some people haven't seen. August 25th, 82, The Living Dead Girl, which is a rare movie out of France at the time because you didn't get a lot of movies from France at the time. You really didn't.
Yep. John Rowland, though, who was super well known for doing erotic vampire flicks. Yeah,
and this movie it's kind of a mixture of a vampire and a zombie flick. I like this movie a lot. It can be a hard watch because it's a little slow at times, but I think it's fun. I think it's one of the most well-made films at the time. It really is. It's almost like an art house film. I mean, it really is.
And the title went on to inspire Rob Zombie to write a song.
Yeah. La Mota.
La Mota.
So one thing I thought was interesting about Living Dead Girl is while they were filming this movie, there was an English version that was filmed at the same time with the same cast and crew, had a different director, and he would film the exact same scene after Jean Rollin would film it, but in English completely. And apparently that film is never been found and it's never been released, and nobody knows whatever happened to it. But he filmed that entire movie and it was never released. It was
No way.
Yeah. I was reading a whole thing on that a couple of years ago, and it's how they spent all this money and time to reshoot it in English, and then it just got lost.
Well, it's a fun movie, and then I know there's a big following for John Rowland or Gene Rowland, however you want to pronounce it. He has a big following, so if you haven't ever seen that, check it out for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what the release is on it. I think there is a release though. There's a Blu-ray out, I know.
So I think we got off a little bit. Yours is actually you're next. Superstition. You remember?
Which one did I do?
Did you just do Living Dead Girl or did I?
Oh,
I can't
I think
remember.
I did. Go ahead. I'll do the next one.
Yeah, do the next one.
August 28th, 82, Superstition. I'm okay with Superstition. I think the best part about Superstition is the poster for it. It was really cool.
Yeah, we've got it here.
Yeah, there it is.
You got to
should have believed.
That opening scene is amazing, though.
It's crazy, the opening scene.
It feels a lot like a slasher flick.
It feels like a slasher flick. It's the opening scene is it's crazy, but it feels super low budget. It really does, but it's a fun watch. I mean, really, it's one you can get to. It's out. I don't think the director ever really did anything else. I can't remember his name, but I know James Robertson. I know it wasn't released in the U.S. until 1985 at all, and I believe once it was released again later on, it had a different title. It was called The Witch.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so like we should probably at some point do a whole show on the Video Nasty Panic in the UK, because this is one of the movies that was banned for the Video Nasty Panic. We could do a whole show on Video Nasty Panic, but after it was unbanned, they had changed the name to bring it back out, so it was something else.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's independent. I mean, it's weird because it was filmed in the US, but it wasn't released in the US till 85. It was released like in Italy first, like in 82, which is weird, but
okay.
Yeah, I like this movie. It was promoted real similar to House by the Cemetery. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean,
I do too. I like that it has a lot of a kind of a slasher feel, but it's not a slasher flick.
Yeah.
So, I just love slasher flicks. So there you go.
It's a supernatural slasher flick. There you go.
It is. Go ahead.
I think right now let's give away The Beast Within to somebody.
You ready?
Yeah, it's just middle of nowhere. Let's just do it.
Okay. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna do this?
I'm gonna pick the third person that says, "I want Lloyd's Beast Within." the third person that types, "I want Lloyd's Beast Within."
Okay, we're watching.
The third one.
The third one. I'm watching it right now. This is the last comment that I see.
Ooh, Enrique! Ooh.
Waiting on somebody. We're waiting on 1, 2. I got
2. 3.
Nathan Burrows. I want Lloyd's Beast Within.
Nathan won! Nathan is surprised you're going to get Lloyd's Beast Within. It's not actually a movie. Welcome to jail.
I'm going to use this to blackmail everybody. I'm just going to screenshot all of this. And when I need something out of you guys, I'm just going to say, well, you said you wanted Lloyd's Beast Within.
I had a lot of people pop up for that one. You know what?
Somebody said they want Chuck's Beast.
That's not the quote though.
I want Chuck's Beast Within. All right, so the winner is Nathan Burrows, and we thank you for everybody for participating in that. And Charles, you'll need to reach out to us on the Texas Frightmare page and send us your address, and Charles will get that out to you.
Yep, you won The Beast Within. Enjoy it. Watch it. It's fun.
Boom.
All right, where we at?
So the next one, September 10th, 1982, directed by Amy Holden Jones. This is a female-directed slasher flick, The Slumber Party Massacre. And
I think everybody knows the poster for this.
I think they do, but we're going to pull it up anyway. This is a classic slasher.
Yeah, through and through.
Yeah, this is a slasher that worked really well. It had, 2 sequels, which were tagline for tonight, batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy.
But this movie is great. It's got Brink Stevens in an early role. And it was female directed, so that's great. I mean, the whole thing that was slasher flicks were criticized for was always, they're just objectifying women, and women all get killed, and they show them nude and all of this stuff, and it's terrible. Well, this was directed by a female, so
yeah, it really was. I think that poster, Lloyd, that's another one that you may need to redo the poster of.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
I'm in. Are you the guy with the drill, or?
No, you're gonna be one of the ladies in the bras, and I'm gonna be the other lady with the bra. I'm gonna be like this. Slumber party, no! Oh no! My peanut butter cups. Don't get out of here.
My dirty pillows. Everybody has to have seen Slumber Party Massacre, right?
Yeah, I watched this when I was like 5, and I probably shouldn't have, but I did. I was like, "Ooh, Slumber Party! I'm a man now."
Chrissy says yes. Amazing film.
And
Kate Kelly, woo. Love a female director, especially in horror. Yep.
And she didn't do a lot more. I know she went on to write the movie Beethoven about the dog, so she had that going for her.
No way.
Yeah, she wrote that movie.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I know she did that.
This was a Roger Corman production, right?
Yeah, it actually was.
Okay. I don't remember a lot about her either, but she wrote Mystic Pizza.
Oh, did she? I didn't know that.
Yeah, which was a pretty big movie for its time.
I obviously am just stuck on Beethoven. That's probably the greatest film ever made.
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, she wrote the original, and then of course she got credits on the rest for the characters.
Costu says haven't seen Slumber Party Massacre.
Oh, you got to see that. I definitely recommend this one.
Oh my God, how have you not seen it?
I don't know how you not see that one, but I think it's on Blu-ray. Pretty sure you can see it on Blu-ray. I want to say that it might even be on Prime right now.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, it is actually. It's on Prime. Stream now with Prime.
There you go. Go to Prime and watch. Yeah, it's a great movie, and of course, the guy's got a big long drill, so that's phallic in some way. So it's a fun movie, but it's a good slasher flick.
Slasher.
All right. You are up next, baby.
24th, 1982, Amityville II.
Boom.
The Possession. The Possession.
I love that movie.
It's a prequel to Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I liked it. It's got a great poster, too. I like the poster. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. There's that. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it had a great cast. Burt Young was in it, who was in Rocky, so he was known at the time. Screenplay's really good. I can. I'll probably get kicked in the face for saying it, but I kind of like Amityville 2 better than the first Amityville. I'm going to be honest with you.
You know what? I don't think you're alone in that. I think a lot
Yeah.
of people like it better.
I always did. I mean, I thought it was a lot more entertaining. I thought the screenplay was a lot better. I enjoyed it a bit more. That's just me.
I don't think you're alone at all. This was directed by Damiano Damiani. I don't.
Director.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with the rest of his work at all. But the cool thing about this movie is if you've ever seen a haunting in, is it what was the movie? A haunting in that was terrible.
Haunting in Connecticut.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you've seen the TV episode of A Haunting in, and then they would do different areas, this one was A Haunting in Connecticut. It wasn't the movie, it's a TV show. This is what that movie is based on. A lot of stuff from this movie comes directly from that haunting in Connecticut. And it was a real haunting. And they blended a lot of the Amityville legend with that haunting. But it was also investigated by the same couple who investigated the Amityville horror. So watch both of those. I think they go great with each other as like a double feature. Haunting in Connecticut, the TV show episode, and then Amityville 2. It's fantastic. This also has Diane Franklin, who was a former or a previous Texas Frightmare guest.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Todd's right. The Warrens, the investigators. That is.
Yeah, the Warrens, which went on to inspire the Conjuring, of course. They were real people.
Both super creepy. It's a very creepy movie. The whole thing with the kid listening to and getting messages on his headphones and his Walkman or whatever he had. That was from The Haunting in Connecticut. Super scary and creepy.
And I like this one. I mean, I do. I like it. I can care all I want, but I did.
Oh, I do too. I love it, and I don't think a lot of people would disagree with you.
Yeah.
Now here's one that some people might disagree with. Period. That might disagree with it even being made. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Amazing.
It's a great movie, and it gets so much hate from the Halloween clan, the Halloween fans that only want to see Michael Myers. But it's a great film. I love Season of the Witch.
Yeah. I mean, I like this movie a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's different. And people went nuts because they're like, there's no Michael Myers. I don't want to see that movie. There's no Michael Myers. It's not real Halloween. Michael Myers is better than Michael Myers. No, Halloween 3 is awesome. It's so awesome. It's a different original story. The design in it's awesome. The music in it's great. It's got Tom Atkins. I don't care what you guys say.
I think it would have been fantastic if it had been successful and they would have continued doing different Halloween type stories for each sequel.
Yeah,
but
that was the ideal.
It got so much hate that they just immediately shelved it and said, we're not doing any more of these.
We're bringing back Michael Myers. And they're like, yeah, we told you Michael Myers. Fine. Happy Halloween. Halloween.
The Shamrock song is just fantastic.
Silver Shamrock.
It's
almost time, Lloyd.
It's almost time. I think this is it. Let me pull this up.
No, that's not it.
Now everybody knows what we're going to talk about. That's not it.
That's not it.
Warning, what you will see.
No, there's no video.
We'll move on
There
then.
was a video.
There should have been. It's hidden.
It's hidden, but Halloween 3, I don't think it gets enough love. It should
doesn't.
get a lot more love. Let's see. Somebody says Halloween 3 still scares me in some ways, and it was the first book that I read a sex scene in when I was younger. So you had the movie, the novelization of the movie, I guess.
That's cool. I'd like to have the novelization of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We only got a couple more left, so we're blowing through these.
Yes, we are.
October 28th. Let's see. Oh, October 28th, 1982. Dario Argento's Tenebrae.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie.
That's got to be Goblin.
Claudio Simonetti.
There we go. John Saxon, Dario's wife at the time, Daria Nicolodi, was in it.
I'm still dancing.
This is a great flick. Again, it's sort of a slasher flick. Feels like
100% Argento.
But it is Dario Argento, absolutely.
If you opened up a dictionary, it'd be a picture of Argento staring at you going, Tenebrae. Okay.
Super violent. We have some fans here. Such a good one. Francisco and John Saxon are great.
Yep.
Tenebrae is the only Argento film I haven't seen. You got to check that out.
Man, you got to check that one out. It's a lot of fun.
Todd Seeley, that axe attack, so bloody.
So bloody. I mean, it's a great film. It's well made. And of course, the score by Simonetti and a couple others is about as good as it gets. I listened to that score. I mean, I probably listen to that score a lot more than I do some scores because that score is just fantastic.
Yeah. I love this movie, so highly recommended for me. Definitely check it out. Let's see. Boogeyman says, my favorite Argento is Mother of Tears.
Yeah. It's a good choice. It's a bold choice.
It is a bold choice.
It's a bold choice, Boogeyman.
Okay, next up, one of my all-time favorites of all time, of ever. November 10th, 1982, directed by George Romero, Creepshow.
Still got George right here. George!
There he is.
George! Peak George! I love George. Creepshow is so fantastic.
Creepshow. Oh my God, George is great. Creepshow is a fantastic movie. As we all know, it's an ode to the EC comics of the 50s. And it just nails it, man. You know, stories written by Stephen King, directed by George Romero. You've got Hal Holbrook, Adrian Barbeau, Leslie Nielsen, E.G. Marshall, and on and on. There was so many fantastic actors in that film. It was great. It was a great movie. I love Creepshow. Yeah,
so many people worked on this that were so Romero. I'm sure everybody's seen this, but the scene they use real cockroaches, which is nuts. They use like 20,000 cockroaches. It's just everything on this is great. It's so fun. It's so colorful. It just makes you happy to watch it because there's just so much going on. It's so Romero. Like it's just like Romero's wet dream. It really is. The whole movie is just great.
And we have to mention too, Savini special effects.
Yeah. Savini special effects. You can't have it.
This movie was a perfect storm. You even had the guy that played Martin under the makeup for Nathan Grantham.
John Amplas,
yes. So,
and you got Stephen King, of course, in it as Jordy Verrill.
Yeah.
Hey, Lord.
My alter ego.
Oh, Lord, you lunkhead.
That's meteor shit.
Up to college, Lord. I'm going to take this up to college, Lord.
I haven't seen all of the episodes of Creepshow, the TV show, but I hear good things about it. I can hold my breath for a long time.
Meteor shit, Boogeyman. Boogeyman knows about that meteor shit.
Yep.
This was John Harrison's first score with Romero. Of course, he went on to do Day of the Dead. But my favorite thing about John Harrison is the fact that he, before even working as a scorer, he showed up in Dawn of the Dead as the screwdriver zombie. Then 4 years later, he scored Creepshow. So that's a fun little tidbit. If you're watching Dawn of the Dead, the one who gets the screwdriver in his ear is composer John Harrison. So.
Yeah, and the wraparound segment of this movie is fantastic. The little boy is Joe Hill King.
Yeah.
So, and he looks just like his dad in the eyes, especially in those segments. And
he's so creepy, a little boy. He's so creepy.
I'm
sorry, Daddy. Don't throw it away. I'm sorry.
And then he orders a voodoo doll and punishes dad. It's the greatest. I mean, all of the stories are fantastic. I recommend picking up the comic book as well. I think they've reprinted that and you can buy it on Amazon. Illustrated by Bernie Wrightson. Some of the best comic illustrations ever.
Bernie's so great. I watched an auction like a year ago where they had some of his original artwork and it was going for ridiculous amounts of money, like 6-figure money. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Bernie did our show a few years ago, and he's amazing. He walked up to me, and I think this was at the VIP party, and Bernie said, "I sold everything I brought, Lloyd. Everything I brought with me, I've sold it all." And I just looked at him. I said, "That's because you're Bernie Wrightson." I mean, he's. I love art, of course, but he's got to be, to me, the best artist that ever lived and breathed.
Todd Lewis said, "Fun fact: the house in the beginning is less than 100 yards from the helicopter passing Dawn of the Dead." That's true. I've been there, and if you look, you can almost see it. It's like the street over from where the helipad scene is.
Is that right?
I'm not going to say that I went into that airport and it's closed down with no trespassing signs, but I did go to that airport. And I might have climbed a fence, and that's for another day, though. Let's go. That's for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. So everybody stood with us. We got 2 movies left.
I want to address something real quick, though. Wish King would come to Frightmare.
Oh, me too.
I get that all the time. And
I don't actually. That's terrifying. I couldn't imagine having him at a show.
Oh, my God. It would shut the place down. But I'll tell you, we have tried several times. And then Charles and I even tried, a month ago, didn't we? And
tried a month ago to get him because he just brought out a book, and we reached out to his publicist and stuff, and he's hard to even get him to do that. Like, he won't even come on to do a 5-minute interview. It's hard.
Yeah. So, as much as I would love to have King, if it happens one day, it happens. But it's not something that you just reach out and ask him to do, because you'll have a better chance of him calling you, and asking you to do your show.
And even when he does his book signings, which are super rare, they're impossible to get into as well. I mean, he did one in Austin a few years ago, and I tried to go, and it was you had to be at that bookstore 1 week beforehand between 5 and 5:05 to somehow get a ticket. And I was like, what the? It's a good Lord.
It's crazy, but, he's Stephen King. He's a legend. All right. You are next up, Charlie.
November. We've made it to the holiday times.
Yay.
November 1982, The House on Sorority Row.
Boom.
Boom. House on Sorority Row. What do you think?
I love it. I think it's a great flick. 1982 slasher flick. Good movie. It definitely is a slasher through and through. I think it hits all the points of being a slasher. And what do you think of it?
I liked it as well. I mean, it's partially inspired by a film in the 50s called Les Diaboliques, something like that. But I like it a lot. I mean, it's got a great poster too. I'm a sucker for posters, everybody can tell. But yeah, it's a slasher through and through. It's a lot of fun. It's got a good screenplay. The acting's pretty okay in it. Music is fantastic in it, though. The music is great. Yeah, I love this. Great play on colors in this poster. The purple. Looks great.
It does, and it's a good slasher flick. If you're a slasher fan, you will like that. I believe this one is on Prime too.
Yeah, this was on Prime. This was filmed in Maryland, I believe, as well. If you're ever there, you can see some locations from it. The score on it, 'cause I mentioned the music. The music was done by Richard Band, who went on to do Reanimator, the score to Reanimator. So you can hear a little similarities between it. So
Yep, Charles Band's brother.
Yep, good flick, great score by Richard Band. Yeah, Band went on to do a few things, but I think he did Ghoulies too.
Oh yeah, he definitely did. Okay, so we've got the very last one of the night, and this is another big, huge favorite for me.
Me too. I love this movie. It had to be on here. This is like the first one I put on here. I was like, nope, it's going.
Oh yeah, you've got to get this. You've got to talk about this movie if you talk about 1982. Came out December 6, 1982. Directed by Harry Bromley Davenport. Xtro.
A splendid and surreal 80s sci-fi movie. It is fantastic. I have a clip. I think I put a clip on from it just because there's some things that are just goofy as hell, and I had to pull something up from it.
Yeah, I've got it right here, and I'm glad you pulled this clip because it has one of the most, again, with our catchphrase of the night, it's batshit crazy.
That's crazy. Just because we like it doesn't mean you'll like it. It's batshit crazy.
It is batshit crazy.
This is my favorite scene.
Okay, let's play it. This tells you absolutely nothing about what the movie is about either.
It's nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, if you've not seen this movie, then this doesn't help at all. But it's a crazy movie. It's very gory.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a hint. It's an alien film. So
it is an alien film.
It's an alien film, but it's very gross. Super gross. And it just kind of goes, it's batshit crazy, and everything goes off the wall in this movie.
It's so bizarre. It's just like, you don't even know what the hell is going on. It all works. It's just goofy as hell. And I don't know if it's streaming. It's not an easy damn movie to find, I don't think.
It is not an easy movie to find, and I don't think a Blu-ray has ever been released in the U.S.
In the U.S., no, you've got to get one overseas. You can pick them up if you've got a region-free player. You can pick up an overseas copy on eBay for like €8. That's like $9, but they'll probably charge you $30 to ship it. But you could get one. It's just not easy to find.
It's not, and there was a DVD that came out a few years ago, and it had Xtro 1 and Xtro 2, which I've never seen Xtro 2. I imagine it's terrible, but you can buy the Blu-ray on Amazon from the UK, but you're going to pay a lot more for it on there. It's going to cost you about $32, something like that with shipping. So you might be able to find a better deal on it.
Yeah, I know. Wow, we've done this for a long time. All right. Everybody stuck with us, so I'm going to give away a copy of The Thing on Blu-ray too. So who wants a copy of The Thing? The first person to say, I want The Thing. I'm going to give a copy of The Thing away on Blu-ray. It's for everybody sticking with it.
Wow.
Do it.
You're awesome, Charles. That's really cool of you.
Movies. Everybody stuck with us. They're going to go for it. There you go.
Oh, boom. So, whoa. Now there's a bunch. So,
who was the first one?
Travis Brown. I want The Thing. That's
Travis.
The first one that popped up. So there
All right,
we go.
Travis, we're going to get it on Blu-ray. You send us your address. I'll ship them out the next couple days.
Yeah, just PM us through Facebook. Y'all, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I had a lot of fun with this one tonight, and we did go a little bit long, but hey, I had a good time. I hope you guys did too.
I had a lot of fun. We got through a year in one show. So I have a feeling these are going to take us 90 minutes, guys. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the going rate. But we're going to go all the way through the 80s. So if you guys stick with us, I figure by the time we get to 1988, there's going to be like me, Lloyd, and probably Todd Lewis. That's it.
Well, we'll take it. We'll take it.
And Meredith. Meredith will be here with us too.
Yeah, Meredith will be there with us.
Everybody else is going to give up on us. It's going to be 89. They're going to be like, nope.
See, we've already got somebody. You guys left out Alone in the Dark.
I did. I left it out.
We can't do everything. I mean, we've gone an hour and a half already tonight, and we barely got through our list. So
yeah, there's a few that I left out that I wanted. So that could be an honorable mention. Also, honorable mention is Parasite, which I didn't put on here with Demi Moore. That's an honorable mention that I didn't put on here, and I'm sorry. Also, Don't Look in the Attic is not on here. I know. I'm sorry. The Clairvoyant is another good one. It's not on here. I know. I'm sorry.
Yep, there's
and Bacterian. It's not on there. I know. I'm sorry.
There's a ton, but I think what we're going for in these lists are stuff that we know everybody is going to be at the want to see at the top of the list, and we're also putting in some of our own little favorites like Xtro. I mean, you got to talk about Xtro, man. It's just such a great movie, and I don't think enough people have seen it.
As hell. I don't even know where you can watch it, but for the love of God, find it. It's bonkers.
You got to find it. You definitely have to find it.
It's probably on YouTube. It probably is. Who knows? I don't like telling you to watch it on YouTube because they're usually not good quality. But if that's all you got, that's all you got.
I would say out of that entire list, if you haven't seen, 3 or 4 of these movies on the list, I would seek out Xtro first. What do you think?
Seek out Xtro. Seek it out. Find it. And I think somebody asked, I can put the whole list up that we talked about too.
Yeah, the Boogeyman. That's another one. I love the Boogeyman. But
yeah, there's a few. I missed a few. I went back and forth.
Well, like we said, you can't get everything, but I show the Boogeyman as 1980. That's what IMDb says.
Technically, Boogeyman was made in 80, but it wasn't really released until 82.
Is that right? John Carradine is in that for a little bit. I think it has a great score too. Look up the score for the Boogeyman. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's someone I haven't seen in a while either. Jeffrey Shiro directed that, didn't he?
The Boogeyman?
Yeah.
No, it's Yuli Lommel.
I'm thinking of a different Boogeyman, I think.
Maybe.
I think the Boogeyman you're saying didn't come out in 82. Yuli Lommel, I think that was earlier.
Boogeyman says Boogeyman came out in 81. So
yeah, you're thinking of the one with John Carradine is the Boogeyman. There's 3 words. There's the Boogeyman, 2 words that came out. Everything was called the Boogeyman.
I remember the Boogeyman, and that was the one with the broken pieces of mirror.
Yeah, the Boogeyman, which is 2 words, is the one directed by Jeffrey Shiro, Jeff Shiro, and I don't think that movie exists anymore. In reality, if I'm thinking of that movie right, it was like a short story too. It was like a short film. It wasn't very long.
I know there was a Boogeyman that was based on a Stephen King. It was one of his dollar babies.
That's the one. That's this one. This is the one that's based on a Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 30 minutes long. I had to pull it up because I knew it was directed by Jeff Shiro. It's 30 minutes long. It's based on a Stephen King Night Shift collection.
Yep.
I think that's why I skipped it too.
It was a short film. It's basically one of his dollar babies that he gave the rights to, for $1.
Yeah.
For up and coming filmmakers to kind of cut their teeth on.
All right. Well, who's still with us? Well, thank you everybody for joining, and for people winning 2 movies. We like movies. We'll be back Saturday with Kane Hodder
Yeah.
live. And are we doing a screening Saturday night? Does anybody want us to do a screening Saturday night? We didn't want a Twitch screening on Saturday night.
Didn't you already plan one?
I planned on doing Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, but I didn't actually announce it. So I didn't know if anybody actually wanted to do it. So I guess we'll see. Well, we'll just do it. If nobody joins, nobody joins. Who the hell cares?
Yeah, we'll just sit there and watch it.
We'll watch it together.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you learned something. Maybe we taught you something.
Xtro is what you learned. You're going to find Xtro.
You're going to learn today about Xtro.
Change your life with Xtro.
All right. What else do you got, Charles? You want to do anything else, or are you all set?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of beer. I'm out of water. And I got to go find Xtro. So
there you go. I think I have Xtro. I can share that with you if you need it.
I bet you can, stud.
Thanks for coming on with me tonight, Charles. I had a good time, brother.
Yeah. So, guys, next week is 1983. 1983. And I will post this list of all these movies. All of them.
Cool. Post the list. And then, like Charles already said, don't miss us this Saturday at 2 p.m. Central for Kane Hodder. And we're still lining up people. We've got guests lined up for 2 weeks in advance now. So, and they're still coming on board. So we're going to keep these going as long as y'all want to see us.
We'll keep it going. We'll keep it rolling.
All right, guys. So thank you for coming on. We'll see you next time. My name is Lloyd Cryer. I'm with Charles Doze, and you've been watching Frightmare HQ. Y'all have a good night.